Yo, 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 what it do, what it is, y'all. It's your boy May Rock. You're now tuned into the infamous No Filter Show. And as always, I'm joined by my great co-host. We can't hear you, buddy.
Oh, I'm muted. No wonder. Thank you. But y'all know the vibes. K Quick, BBF, we in the building. It is Thursday again, my friend. Yeah.
And I am the Blue Phoenix. I am whipping in the kitchen, so that's why I'm not on camera.
I see in that joint like we're gonna whip on the whip. Hey, we're gonna whip on the whip. Hey. Nah, you got to make your own. You know what I'm saying? It's always flipping the wrist. You got to whip up the whip.
I don't know if I'm supposed to whip up a whip. That's more like that's not a.
So look, normally I ask y'all how y'all week going. Technically, I already asked y'all that because I seen y'all yesterday. And shout out to everybody that came out to the Smoke and Laugh comedy show last night. That shit was litty. It was a vibe for the laughs and get highs. You know what I'm saying? The musical performances was dope. Leticia Soul killed it. Elsky Stacks killed it. Simon Says held it down. You know what I'm saying? As the host, had the OGs of comedy come in the building. Shout out to Gwen for hitting the stage and blessing us with blessing us on hitting the stage and blessing us with some good laughs. There was a lot of dope people in there. Reese, the young man Saul surprised me.
He was very funny. Yo. I like him. He was very funny.
Absolutely.
And, Reese killed it. Like one thing I always, because seeing the whole performance, all the performances last night, it really shows how committed and how sharp you gotta be with this craft, because literally there were some folks who, like you said, were the OGs who like spurred a moment, got up and did like a whole 5 minutes. They had a whole set in the pocket that they could pull out at any time. And I respect that craft right there.
That's equivalent to us spitting a quick 16, but they doing it for 5 minutes though.
Yeah, and for real, because to be technical, I can rap for a very long time, freestyle and so on and so forth. But it's a different form of writing, because even though I'm not in that area of art as comedy, I know how cutthroat that comedy crowd is. They're just fixated on you and hanging on every single word you say.
They are terrible.
They are blood-thirsty crowd, which is another reason why I commend the artists for jumping up there. That's a completely different crowd with a completely different mind state. Real talk.
Hell yeah. But everybody stay tuned. If you missed the first one, we actually going to run it back really, really soon. Give us a little bit of time to finish planning things out.
Yep.
Flyer and Eventbrite link will be live. Trust me. It was a vibe. It was nothing but good people. Like I said, good highs and good vibes. You know what I'm saying? Good laughs.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So look, I gotta start the show off with a rather uncomfortable question, and I'd rather get it out the way. And I feel like, oh no, quick, turn your camera back on, buddy.
You gonna turn yours on?
My camera's broke. Sorry, buddy.
So what? I'm not gonna be the only camera person in this mug.
No, because this question is for you.
All right, for me. All right, see, you should have just said that. All right, go ahead.
Okay, you ready?
Just do it.
Just so Denise can see your face when you say this.
Man, see,
wait. Give the disclaimer. Denise, this is just a scenario. Please don't kill Quick. We love him dearly.
Yes, babe. Whatever he's about to ask, I have no clue. His questions or opinions are not of mine, and you know how we get down. A1 since day one, loyal to the grave. So,
okay,
all hypothetical. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you this, and then I'm gonna take you off the full screen. If you had a side chick What would be your golden rules for her to remain your side chick? Look at the
But
look on this man's face.
now the only reason I can talk like this is not because of my experience, but I know of other folks who ran who rode like this back in the day. But the number one thing is, I would assume, is play your position. Remember that you're the side chick. You are not the main. You are not the. There's things you can't do, and so on and so forth. Whatever those things you can't do, that is between you and the person of which you are the side piece of. But the number one rule that shall not be, that I assume shall not ever be broken, otherwise all ties shall get severed, is remember, know your role, as The Rock would say. Play your position. That's what I would think.
Phoenix, do you agree with that?
That can be, yeah, I agree. That can you do have to know your place. I would assume, which from what I'm seeing, a lot of them don't know their places. They think they're the main one, I guess. If I were in a position, I guess my main rule would be to shut up.
That kind of goes in with the know your role thing. Like,
so
yeah, but you gotta shut up.
So I think we all agree on the number one rule, because I was going to say the same thing. Quick actually said it verbatim: know your role. You know what I'm saying? Understand that the queen is the queen. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is, how could you know your role if you humping that person like like day to one? You dig what I'm saying?
That's
Because
where
the number two is normally a little more adventurous, a little more outside of the norm. It got to be something that makes you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so the reason why that is the case is because the side person does not have to deal with that person, the real person. They get to deal with the carefree part of that person. You don't have to deal with real life with this person. Yeah, they'll come and vent to you. They might come vent to you, and that's with a side chick or a side dude. They'll come and vent to you and want to go out, want to hang out, want to have fun, which they can do this with their person if they actually put the effort in. But with your person, you have to deal with life. You got to deal with these bills. You got to deal with these jobs. You got to deal with issues that you guys have between each other. You got to deal with personal issues. So it's like when you're with that side person, it's about sex and having fun. But you can do that with your main person, but it's a disconnect. So that's why you got the side pieces.
Yeah. Basically, with the side piece, you enjoy all the ups of the relationship without having the downs. That's basically all they're there for.
Exactly. And that's why they always think, if you listen to, like, when they had the tonight's conversations and it was a side chick on there, I mean, she was talking like that was the wife.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's because the person she was fooling around with made her feel that way. He made her feel like she had the upper hand. He made her feel like she was better than the wife. But the fact of the matter is, he still is married to the wife.
Well, I'll say this. That's also him not playing his position, or not also letting her play the position either. So, because if you're basically in this agreement with a side piece and you're trying to keep her that way,
what up,
then what's good? Why in the world are you making her feel like not the side piece? That's making her feel comfortable stepping out of her position, or him, because the dudes are side pieces too. So, but yeah, you're making that person feel comfortable stepping out of their position, or you're giving them the false perception that you want them to step out of that position.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we've got to think about it. All comes down to the reason why that person chose to deal with that side piece. You know what I'm saying? People get side pieces for different reasons. Sometimes it's because you're not satisfied at home. Sometimes it's because that person just creates a cool vibe and chill. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just because a person just their sex drive is out of control and they just got to get it whenever and however. You know what I'm saying? So it's a crazy ass situation because if you cheat, if you got a side piece because you're not happy at home, low key, you're starting to build another relationship versus you got a person that you just smashing whenever you can just because y'all just enjoy good sessions. You feel me? That's a little bit different because in that situation right there, the lines are already drawn. Like, look, this is what it is. I just like how we get down. You know what I'm saying? Nothing more, nothing less. Versus when you got a side piece and you spending that quality time, y'all Netflix and chilling, y'all going out catching movies, going on little dates and stuff on the side. Now you acting like you're in a whole relationship. I think that's when things get a little bit.
Then the person who's then the main person, then that man or woman is breaking the rules of the game. Then that's not even the side piece's fault. That's that person's fault. Like I said, they're the one bringing them out of that role by taking them on dates and playing house, basically.
Hey, but look, I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's be real. Some good sex will make you fall head over heels for a person. You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna say y'all mustn't have no good sex, man. Because I'm just saying.
No. I mean, that's why me and mine is locked down.
She gave it to you. It's like, baby.
Or maybe let her say it. It was the other way around. And she, like I said, she's territorial over me.
So y'all humped each other to love.
All right, well, bro, what is it like in your relationship? Who got who?
I don't know. It's kind of weird, bro. Like,
I'll say honestly, and mine is pretty much even. Like she leashed me up, I leashed her up. It was an even spill, I would say.
Hold on. He said that would be emotional. That would take an emotional attachment for the sex to be good. Really?
I mean,
emotion. Hold on, wait a minute.
Well, all right. Well. Think about it. Now.
Yeah, she in love with this dick.
But no, I'm talking about on the man side. Like, say you messing with a side piece, bro.
Okay.
Would it only take good sex for you to catch feelings, or would it have to be something in addition to the sex?
Okay, I get.
So granted, it would normally for a man, it would take more than just sex, because a man can have, as we know, can have sex with no feelings attached. He just keep going to that person because they had the good sex. But to be like, dang, I think I'm in trouble because you are now catching feelings when you know that's against the game. There's something else that woman is giving you that you are not getting at home, and it has nothing to do with physical.
That's usually why that step out happens, though.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, and people think it's just sex. Most times, you have sex at home all the time, you still not have that connection, and you can go out looking for that connection. Yeah, sex happens, but that person may provide that emotional support, that mental connection. They might provide that for you. They might provide that peace, that comfort. Sometimes it happens outside the realm of the marriage or the relationship. But it's so funny to talk about this. I forgot this topic yesterday when I was on my way home. I was waiting for the train, got on this train. This dude sat down, was asking me, "Is this the one that goes to LaFon?" I'm like, "Yeah." Then he starts talking about his two women. One works at the Metro that we were at as a station manager. The other one, he was on his way to. He'd been with one for 3 years, one with two. They know about each other. The one he's been with for 2 years is mad because he has the key to the one's house he's been with 3 years, and they beefing. And the thing is, they know about each other. This is a little bit different than a side chick situation because now they're in, like almost polygamous or in a polyamory relationship, but they just don't sleep together, all three. And the thing is, if this is what you want, if you want a side piece or you want an extra person, or the person you with does not provide the things you need, why not be honest and talk about it? Now, I know some people do. Some people will talk to that person, hey, I need this or whatever, da, 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 and it may not be fulfilled or, not explained properly. But why not be honest? It's not
What?
that I was on the train with was a trip because then he tried to holler at me. I'm like, dude, didn't you just say you having sex with two different women? What do you look like? But he was honest. So they know about each other. They even talk sometimes. If that's what you want as a man or as a woman, be honest and say it. But you can't be honest because you know for a fact that 95% of the time, well, maybe 90% of the time, it's not going to go well with the partner.
So may I ask a question? So we know that there are just some people who are just terrible communicators, but in the sense that communication isn't the issue, or it doesn't seem like there's an issue with communication, why does it still seem, or why, what, or this is a better way to word this question. What may cause a person to develop some sort of cowardice to having hard discussions like that instead of getting a side piece?
Because you may not want to lose that person. Because you already know for a fact that if that was to be brought up, it wouldn't fly. Or you wouldn't want your person to have that option either. But that might be a discussion. Okay, you want somebody else? I do too.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think may cause, but yeah, all right. And what do you think may cause somebody to be scared to have that discussion?
I just told you.
Oh yeah. All right. I thought you was going somewhere else. All right. So yeah.
Sometimes some
But
people have just want that part of themselves separate because this is what they enjoy, and if they talk about it, then they'll lose the.
well, yeah, I get it now. I get it now. So yeah, I could, yeah, because you kind of linked two different answers in it at the same time. I had to be sure. But yeah. But it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like a lose-lose situation. You're scared to bring it up to the person with the fear that it may cause a problem with them in their mind possibly leaving, but you begin this affair, or not, or if we're not being so fickle with the definitions here, you begin this side mission, with a side piece, that if that significant other found out about that, they were going to probably leave anyway, or other things were going to happen. But at least with the other option, there's a possibility of working it out. So it's
Maybe. Also, there's a difference with men and women. Of course, you guys are men. So it's a lot easier for the man to step out and not catch feelings. Now, it's a lot easier for him to step out and not catch feelings.
very true.
She has developed some type of feelings for the person that she steps out with, unless she just on them, out drinking, was drinking, out partying, whatever, have a one. And for the most
And
part,
for real, yeah, that's true.
yeah, for the most
And
part, develop an emotion, and that will cause us to go into that relationship, another relationship.
that would also that also explains the reason why the Pandora's box that a woman could open is a lot darker and a lot heavier than when a man could, because like with a woman more than likely has to have more than just physical connection there for there to even be any cheating involved. It's
For the most part, now these girls,
yeah, so that's why men kind of react when men find these things out. They get different. They give that reaction that stereotypically a man gives because they know, dang, somebody got her. If they were able to pull her away to cheat, they are in her mind. Like they have her mind or something else. This is more than just sex. Sex is just the cherry on top of the thing. Because technically, can you let me ask you this? Can an affair happen without there being sex?
Yeah, it's an emotional affair. Hmm.
So,
But it actually leads, even if you're not sleeping with the other person, it leads to a disconnect to your partner,
mm,
whether it's sex or not involved. Just having that emotional connection will lead you to disconnect from the person you're with, especially if it's a strong emotional connection. If the person is giving you what you want from your partner, and I'll say you're in a space where you are dead or like just so dry
mhm,
from not receiving what you're pouring out or not receiving from your partner, a new person can definitely come in there and have an emotional relationship with you
mm,
and sex involved. Because a lot of times women don't. Well, I ain't gonna say that because we like to have sex too. I'm not gonna say we don't. We do, but we'll take emotional connection over sex any day. We'll
mm.
take over sex any day. Of course,
Well,
but we'll take that over sex.
so Rock, can I ask you the question now, or you a question?
Talk to me.
So, hypothetically, this is all hypothetical here, folks. Say, in a relationship that you're in, you find out your significant other was in a relationship, but it was not physical. But these people have a strong mental and emotional connection with each other to the point, I mean, you see them because there's non-physical intimacy. Like, see, you see the proof of that non-physical intimacy, whatever that looks like for you. Does that hurt you just as bad as if there was physical?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Not only because you got her mentally. You get what I'm saying? And that leads to physical.
Definitely.
If she's so distracted and she's in that type of relationship with no physical contact and it's all mental, nah. When you get that chance, then you gonna take that chance. So
Yeah, that's true.
Agreed.
So
Ugh.
for us, because you connect emotionally and mentally, and you could just go have sex. When we find out the same feeling you get if we do it, that's the same feeling we get. But y'all don't, or I'm not gonna say y'all too, but most men don't understand that because I'm just fucking her. It's still to us the same thing because it's still cheating, right? To
yeah,
I
y'all,
mean, yeah,
it's kind of because y'all kind of put us up on for some reason, a higher pedestal, and
we do.
yeah, y'all do, and it's like we're not human. We're incapable of being human. Would you say, Chris?
No. I was just agreeing with you.
uh-oh. Most said if women didn't cheat, wouldn't be any cheating. I
Wow.
like that one. And
Wow. But no, for real, non-physical cheating does hurt just as bad because I mean, just
Oh,
imagine your significant other just looking at another man the same way they look at you.
or possibly different. Possibly.
Yeah. Or yeah, you see them they give them a look in a way you never seen. So they don't even give you that same.
I mean, I hate to say it, but everybody does it. Everybody sees a human that they're just head over heels with their looks. You know what I'm saying? In their mind.
Mhm.
No, and nobody would really admit this to their significant other, but you could be watching a movie or whatever with them, and they can be watching them and mind fucking them, and you wouldn't even know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess the biggest public example of this was I mean, because you remember years back, because I would say the COVID years were the years where Jada and Will and all of them, they ran the headlines for a good 2-3 years strong. And there were all these montages of them and all this stuff and so on and so forth. And one creator, his words, not mine, but one creator pulled up this video where Jada was talking about her friendship with Tupac and just talking about Tupac and how much they care for each other, or and saying that she will never run into another person like him or something of that matter. I don't want to misquote, but something in that realm, or she said something like someone like him comes around once in a lifetime or something like that. She literally broke into tears talking about him, and this creator said you never see her speak about Will with the same passion.
From Jump Street, they went into Will like that. You can tell.
What up, Coach?
So what's good, Coach? So yeah, that's another that's an example there. Kind of only difference is the person in question is now dearly departed. So rest in peace to him. But yeah.
Hold on, Mo. I need you to elaborate on that because that's a lie. First of all, second of all,
What's a lie?
him talk about if women didn't cheat, wouldn't be no. Second of all, when you talk about Jada and Will, it's important to be with somebody that actually likes you.
Mm-hmm.
Important because a lot of times people get in relationships or they get together, and it is mainly about sex. So it's about what somebody else can do for them and provide for them and help them with or whatever. You know, you might have a bonding or whatever. And by the time that situation clears, you no longer like the person because you really didn't like them in the first place. You needed them for like a specific thing. But if you get with someone that actually you like spending time with each other, you like hanging with each other, your friends, you're cool, it kind of helps the relationship. I'm not saying that there wouldn't be any issues. I'm not saying that it might not be a time where, you know, you want to look at somebody else or somebody else may teeter their way in for a little bit and talk to you and you might edge a little bit. That's not always the case, but it happens. You may won't cross that line because you'll see that person that you're with at a higher regard as that person that's trying to come in because you're having a moment. It was something Quick said earlier that I was going to respond to. Oh, okay. So for me, I'm gonna speak for myself. I know, you know, a lot of people that's cheated. I have cheated before. I always tell myself I have no problem saying what I did before. But for me, I don't compare. If I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm not looking at other men. I'm not trying to be with nobody else. I'm not trying to do nothing with nobody else. I'm fully and completely yours. Even if we're not, you know, we can have an issue, we can have whatever problems we have, and I'm gonna try my best to deal with those issues. It takes me a long time to start, I guess, you could say pulling away or, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So look, real quick, we're gonna have to pause this conversation. We got Just Star popped up in the back, and she about to get on here and kick that good old celeb gossip to us. Superstar, what it do?
Say less.
Hey, hi everybody.
What's
What it
good?
do?
Oh, she's on
Hey.
camera tonight.
As you know, it's your girl Just Star. What up there?
Coolin', man. Hey, man, what you got for us?
Shh, that depends on which celebrity you want to hear about tonight. Have you all already got started on Mr. Ye, formerly
Not
known
yet.
as Kanye West?
So
Not yet.
Okay, well, let's get started. Let's get right to it. So, this week on X, formerly known as Twitter, he tweeted about a song that is coming out on his latest album. If I remember correctly, the song is called Cousins, and he was explaining how that song came about. He said that when he was a kid, he used to look at dirty magazines with his cousin, and that resulted in sexual relationship between his male cousin and himself that ended when he was 14. So, what do you all think of that?
That boy was sucking peen. Ain't this?
Wow, that's crazy.
That's what he tweeted.
You're such a fucking hoe.
you you are terrible, bro. Man, I don't know what to say to. I
Speaking
mean, to
of,
each their own, but I don't know what to say to that for real.
So that's very common. We just don't speak about it, but that's a very common occurrence. That's not exposed, and I don't know where he got. But
well, I guess we can circle back around to why that is a common conversation. Speaking of hoes, have you all got into Mr. Shannon Sharp's tea?
Not yet. Spill it.
Ooh-wee. So this week he was sued by an OnlyFans model named Gabby. Gabby says that he raped her and assaulted her. Text messages were dropped where she said that she essentially felt like she was raped because she told him to use protection and that she wasn't into anal, and he apparently did it anyway, from what she says. She is represented by Tony Busby, which is the lawyer who is currently getting sued by Jay-Z and Rock Nation for representing a young girl who initially claimed that Jay-Z raped her, and she recanted those statements that Tony Busby essentially pressured her into making those public statements. So, same lawyer, different young lady, different celebrity. He did, however, his lawyer said that he offered her tens of millions of dollars to not go public with these allegations that he has categorically claimed to be false. He says this a money grab. She's trying to take him down. I guess the only thing I would really ask is a man of his age in his 50s, what did he possibly expect was going to go on when dealing with a transactional relationship with a 19-year-old girl?
She's such a fucking hoe.
Is that gonna be like your go to reaction to today, bro?
I think so.
I'm
I
surprised you
mean,
ain't got the Kanye emoji up. I'm surprised academics is still
All right, let's start go.
up.
well, I just saw that Nelly is under fire with mainly black women because in a recent interview, I believe that was Big Boy that he was talking to. Maybe I got the interview wrong, but however, whatever. They were asking him about him and Ashanti getting married so quickly and so silently, to which he replied that, well, she got pregnant and I didn't want to make her a baby mother. Well, the women are outraged. They said there's no talk about love. It's nothing special about it. You have some who are saying, okay, well, why was Ashanti important enough to not be a baby mother? But you have other kids. You made all of them baby mothers. They in shambles. Huh?
Wow.
And a lot of them are saying that they still did not forget that he performed for Trump. So he was canceled way before this. Definitely canceled now. What are your thoughts?
Well, this also still shows how fickle people are because they're saying all this about their relationship, but when they saw them back together and saw all the pictures with them smiling and whatnot, all the women were like, "Oh, I love to see it. They look so happy. That's goals." I mean, stop it. Stop it. Now
Hey,
you can't. Now it's not genuine, and so on and so forth.
right.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Superstar, have you seen this tweet by Kanye? And I just want to get your feedback live. How do you feel about that?
I can't even see
He
it.
said, now that, and I quote, he said, now that people think that I'm gay, I'm allowed to say faggot.
I think Kanye has officially added himself to the master troller list. That's what I think. Well, now, those comments say a mouthful. I think he's a master troller. I think he's doing what he does best. You know, he's a showman. He puts on a show. I think this situation is no different than any other time he put on a show. What
I
y'all
li-
think? Tripping.
I literally take what he says now. I'm not saying that I'm not. I try. I'll say this. I try to take what he says and does with a grain of salt because at this point I can't tell whether he's serious or trolling. I don't know which time. I don't know when in time he's being the real Kanye or when he's deciding to just troll to stir stuff up.
Well, something that was said in the comments caught my attention that I wanted to get y'all reaction to. Somebody said that they should remove Wendy Williams' conservatorship and give it to Kanye. Do y'all agree with that or disagree?
Ah,
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
I said I saw in the comments on one of the sites where somebody commented that they should remove Wendy Williams from her conservatorship and give it to Kanye. I want to know what's y'all's thoughts on that.
Well, firstly, what does now? I'm not too familiar with this. What does that allow a person to do, or what does that entitle them?
A conservatorship is basically, to layman's terms, they put all of your money and your expenses, your finances under control by a mutual third party, a third party.
Shoot, man, I'm in the finance industry and I didn't know that. So,
That was not her, so that could be under control. That she didn't have anything to do with that. A lot of that was for her son or her ex, something like that. That wasn't, because she couldn't handle things. There's a lot of things about Wendy Williams that.
So, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sweetie.
Go ahead.
So Wendy is believed by the medical community to have frontotemporal lobe dementia. The problem with that is, and why everybody believes that she has been misdiagnosed, is because there's absolutely no reversal of that. There has never been a known reversal. So now that she seems to be fine and coherent, she's essentially saying that they put her in the conservatorship because her son, little Kevin, was going crazy with her money. One of the examples of that, he asked her for $1,500 for I think a dirt bike for his birthday, and she okayed that. He instead went to the bank and took out 15,000 to rent a boat. So things like that. It's also being speculated that he was taking money out of her account and giving his father some because Wendy no longer has to pay Kevin Hunter Sr. So it was a lot of little things like that where, out of Wendy's own mouth, she loves her son. She has no intentions of prosecuting her son, but she believes that she's currently in the situation she's in because of her son being greedy.
that's wild. That is wild. Mm.
And speaking of Kevin Hunter Sr., that brings me right along to my next one. So,
Oh,
Latasha Scott, formerly of Escape's husband, Rocky Bivens' mistress, dropped text messages between them this week because Latasha is still saying that her and Rocky had an open relationship. Rocky is still denying even knowing this young lady. So she posted messages to prove that she has been his mistress for years. And he sends her tons of money.
oh my gosh. And what? All of this messy stuff. What and what?
It's a messy week. The
I mean,
question,
what was the purpose of dropping these texts again? Like, what is?
Like we said earlier, she don't know how to shut up.
All I'm saying is, I'm a firm believer, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. What happens in the house need to stay there. Why
well,
I believe that none of this stuff is for public viewing, and when you put it out there for public perception, you leave the window open for stuff like we're doing now. People who are not involved to dissect, pick apart, and formulate opinions.
Well, I mean, technically, it wasn't in the house if she's the mistress. The question is, if you are openly choosing to be a mistress, what should the rules be? That is my question to you all. What
Oh,
is the side piece rules?
we literally just had this conversation. Rock, would you mind? All right, I'll say it. So the main thing.
Okay, no.
You took too long. Hurry up.
No. My mic was muted. I did the voice and everything. Hold on, let me sip my water. Ask me the question again.
Go ahead.
What are the side piece rules?
The Rock says this: know your role and shut your mouth. That's the rule.
You jabroni.
Thank you.
You didn't even finish the promo. You gotta finish, bro.
Bro, I'm not getting sued for that shit.
I don't think they can sue you for that. It's a parody, but yeah.
Well,
And you made me do a whole Rock imitation one time when I came on with the belt. So I don't want to hit.
Well, you know, you was into it, so you know.
All right, your name is actually Rock. Anyways,
ask me why.
No, Star. What's next, Star?
I ain't got nothing for you. I'm gonna do the streets and find out some more stuff.
Y'all, if y'all need to find any dirt, please hire Star the Private Eye. She will find out everything down to the birth certificate. Shoot. Somebody cheating, hire Star. Somebody pregnant, hire Star.
Sorry.
Somebody is talking in another country doing illegal trades, hire Star.
Hold on. Now
I don't know how in the world she's gonna find that out, but for some reason she finds a way.
Wait, bro. Now you're making her sound like she a snitch.
Nah, she not. This is celebrity gossip on.
Okay. Oh, so
and also forgot. If you need personal security, hire Star. Yeah.
Don't listen to that guy.
I mean, shoot. I'm thinking about hiring her my dang self, bro. You know, I need somebody to walk me to my car every now and then.
You are a mess. Anyway, love y'all.
Much love.
Appreciate you. So you know what? She just dropped in some crazy shit, and I ain't know how to bring it up. So I'm just gonna say it. So Kanye was out here sucking dick as a youngin'.
Oh my god!
How do we know? No. Wait a minute, quick. God damn it! You can't talk about this one lightly because every boy knows, as a young boy, that dicks do not go in your mouth. Can I get
no? I agree.
Apparently,
see, you know what? Go ahead. So, I think it's supposed to be a deep conversation behind this, but you know what I'm saying.
But no. But I'm wondering, is this song in question like? Is it released? Is it like out now or not?
Nah, it's supposed to be on this next album.
All right, so he just dropped details about it.
Yeah, but why? And his wife came out and said that she really wished that he would have. You know, it's okay to speak your truth by any means, but sometimes you gotta process and do shit by yourself. That ain't something that you should have told the public, bro. Like, and I personally agree. Like, bro, like you're every time we say something wild, I feel like he's tarnishing his legacy because just as much great shit that you can say he's done for the culture and all of that shit, you feel me? You can say some dumb shit that he done said or some wild shit. This is not something that me as a man when I die, when they talk about me, I don't want them to be like, yeah, he was a great man. He was a great rapper, great filmmaker. Hey, but you know he was sucking dick too, right? Nah, sorry.
Well, one person who took this news or information and ran with it was our good old friend, Mr. Curtis Jackson. He didn't waste no time making a post or two.
My topic on my next episode, make sure I talk. Hey, no doubt.
All right,
Hey,
say less.
hold
Say
on.
less.
Wait a minute. Phoenix. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Because I gotta hear this from a woman's perspective. Let's put yourself in the shoes of his wife. You're sitting there in the house. You get online and you read that your famous husband tweeted out that he was sucking dick from the ages of 6 to 14. How do you respond? What do you say? What do you do?
I don't even know.
You're such a fucking hoe.
So wait, did she find out the same time everyone else did? She found out from that tweet.
Hold on. I'm not sure.
Right,
But let's say you found out at the same time the world did.
well, I would be devastated first and foremost. That's I would really look at him different. I would look at him different. I would be devastated, especially if that's not a conversation we had personally.
Mhm.
I would really, there would be I don't even know. I would really look at him different, and it would be some serious. I just could not look at him the same. And then I'm like, okay, I need to ask, how old were you? Where were your parents? Where's this person? Why? You know, it's just I couldn't look at him the same. And then he put it out on the internet for the world to know.
So he embarrassed her.
He was,
I say he embarrassed her because honestly, like, would you want to be known as to be the wife of a man who sucked dick in his past?
but it's other things that women, or we just don't want to be known for. At the end of the day,
Or associated with
his wife. It may be embarrassing, but that's still on him.
But once again, is this Kanye really speaking his truth, or is this another troll?
I don't think he would have put that out there as a troll, though.
This is the same guy who wears diamond out swastikas and KKK outfits.
But different, though. You're claiming to have molested your cousin.
Well, dang, I didn't read the tweet. I didn't know it went that far.
He sucked his cousin's dick from his cousin's age of 6 to he was till the cousin was 14. We don't know how old Kanye was, but the cousin was between the ages of 6 and 14. The last time he put his around his schlong, the boy was 14.
This is crazy.
Yeah, bro, your man got 8 years of experience, bro.
Who made this?
You know, the thing is, if it was
you're the one with this picture up. But anyways,
if it was his girl cousin, it would be way worse, right? I feel that way about him doing it to his boy cousin. He molested that boy. It's I couldn't look at him the same. There's no way.
Bro, this is getting crazy.
Yeah, so I don't think he's trolling. That's just something you don't troll about.
No, I agree that is nothing you just throw out there. You don't want that stuff.
You want to know something? I was cracking jokes.
What's up?
I was cracking jokes, and now I didn't think about like how old was Kanye when he was doing that.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking that Kanye was sucking dick from the age of which is still bad for him.
That means,
you know what I'm saying?
But
now
that's what I thought. I didn't know it was referring to the cousin.
Yeah, so if the cousin was 6 to 14, then that's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly think he was 6 to 14 because I don't think that he would put it out there that he was a molester.
He said he sucked his cousin's dick. from the age his cousin was 6 years old.
Oh shit.
He was 6, and the last time he did, he was 14.
Well,
Did
are they
he?
the
So
same age?
question. So question. Did he? Did Kanye? Did he or did he? So he didn't mention his age at all.
No, he never mentioned his age. He did say about the books. He said his father had Playboy magazines at his house, but his mother had different magazines at hers. And I guess he saw his mom's magazine. Apparently, it was fallacious happening in both of those books, but both of those magazines. But I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, coach said some real shit. His sacrifice time might be coming up. Hey, I don't know. Allegedly.
Yeah, instead of the alleged sacrificial.
But let's dive a little bit deeper into this conversation. And it's crazy because this type of shit happens every single day, and it's brushed under the rug. Why is that?
Because family, again, the thing is, what especially the older people, what happens in this house stays in this house, right? A lot of times when they tell you that, it's because it's terrible violation, or if someone found out that they can look at them differently or remove the children. That tends to be the thing, especially when it comes to Black people. We know of uncles, we know of friends of aunts or somebody that has messed with one of the boys, or the uncle that messed with the girls and the boys. Oh, you can't go over there. Don't sit beside this person. If he asks you to go to the store with him, don't go with him. Or you can't go over there with your aunt and your aunt. And it's don't we, instead of removing the people that are causing the problem, we make the children or those around this problem adjust. We don't remove the problem. We put a barrier around it and still allow the problem to stay in the middle of the storm. I don't understand why we do that. And all we're doing is adding more trauma, because usually each generation gets touched or affected by this issue. I found out, and the thing is, we don't realize, so the older person violates the younger child. The younger child sometimes go violate a younger child. I found out that happened to my sister. My cousin violated my sister. They both were young. My cousin was like maybe a couple years older than her, but I didn't know that happened. And it was my girl cousin. But we didn't know. We found out later on, but kind of found somebody did that to her. But nobody said anything. It's a repeated cycle, and it is the adult's responsibility when we know that there are people in our family that have a problem, that we should have took out into the woods and bust the captain their ass. The minute we found out they was doing something, we let them live, or we keep them around. And all it does is add more and more trauma, more and more problems. Uh-oh. I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Yeah, I got to make sure. I'm not sure if he stepped away or they fired him. Let me double check that. Go ahead, Phoenix. You was
I'm saying we have to do better when it comes to stuff like that. We got to stop allowing these things to happen and wonder why the child act like this, or they get older and they call the girl fast, but the damn cousin helping her grow up faster. So, or the boy act weird. Why he act weird? Somebody touched them. That's not always the case, but for the most part, it is. And we need to do something about that. It's our fault.
So let me ask you this: like for those who don't know or kind of don't recognize or have seen it happen in their family, what are the telltale signs that's going on in the family?
Children who are very quiet, particularly around certain family members. Children are not normally quiet children unless they're just shy. Even shy children, if you look at them with other kids, they usually tend to be playful. A telltale sign that there's either physical, mental, or emotional abuse or sexual abuse is that the child is very standoffish, very quiet, and has a fear of being around certain people. as far as adults, we can fake the funk all day long. So you can't tell that this person does that, but if you watch a child, you can tell from their demeanor, especially when they get around certain people.
Dang.
Or another thing too, a very protective older sibling. A very protective older sibling could have either experienced it themselves or know that this person is trying to do it to their sibling or cousin or whatever. But usually, a very protective older sibling or cousin is a telltale sign too.
That's crazy. It's sad, but do you think that that's a bigger problem in the Black community, or do you think that it's just an overall problem?
That's overall. That happens.
That's an overall issue right there.
Overall, it happens all the time. It's just more. It just seems like be more exposed in our community. Everything is always more exposed with us when it's everywhere. Everywhere.
I got a question. It's kind of shifting off topic, but it's kind of what you just said. Do you think that that's that every hardship being amplified in our community? Do you think that that's holding us back? Like, because I'm just saying, like, we hear of problems, and you see more complaining about the problems, and you see less action. So, do you think? And honestly, some of our problems happen. You know what I'm saying? It's around the board, but not as much. I'm trading lightly because you know what I'm saying. I don't want to say that we're not on the bulk end of our issues. But do you think that we harp on what the problem is so much that we forget to figure out a resolution? Because you would think after all of this time, there would have had to been some type of way to fix things. And I'm sorry for switching the subject. It's just a question I had.
Oh, that's all right. But okay, so give me an example of.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay. Let's say jobs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's worried about diversity because they don't feel like we're going to get a fair shot because of the color of our skin. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if our credentials are what they are. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that is a solution to that or not?
Well, one of the solutions, we created our own jobs for real. We created our own society. That's what Black Wall Street was, and they wouldn't let that solution stay.
Okay. But that's
Okay, so the DEI or diversity and inclusion, that was going on, and we were still having issues getting jobs. So I don't care that that's no longer in effect. That was not solely to protect us anyway. I ain't gonna go there though. So the issues that we have, the problem is you can't have a solution if you're not given the space and time to create one. If you are always in a space where you have to survive, there is no solution. It's just go, do. I gotta. You don't have the time to figure out. I mean, of course we can work jobs. They make it seem like we don't work. We do work. They make it seem like we don't, we're always in trouble. No, we're not. It's always seen as if we, just want to fight, or we just don't want to do. We want to argue. We want to complain. We want to march. That's not the case. We as a people, like Quick said, have the capability to thrive. We do it during recessions. We do it when we're not in a recession. We've done it years ago when they were killing us. We did it now that we're alive. The thing is on display. it's always shown that we lack or we don't know or we're ignorant or we just can't do. That's not the case. We can and we do. But when you are constantly put in a situation where you have to prove yourself or prove that you want this or prove that you can survive, it's going to seem like we are lazy or we don't want it or we all we want to do is, what the stereotypical things that they put on us. But that's not the truth. The truth is we do want it and we get it. And it's taken sometimes. Yeah, there are always bad apples. There are bad apples everywhere. But we focus more on the bad apples instead of focusing on the tree, on the apples that's further up in the tree.
Yeah, I wanted to. I like you. I like it. I agree with what you said. I honestly feel like we are thriving. I know people around me. I know people in my circle that's doing well in life. You know what I'm saying? And not just to say that they have a lot of money, but you know what I'm saying? They have a lot of money, they're in good spirits. You feel me? They're creating their own lane, you feel me, while having a good 9 to 5. Like, we are thriving as a people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just kills me to hear, and I asked that question because it kills me to hear people make the excuse that we can't come up because of oppression. Yes, oppression is real, but I'm seeing in my own eyes that slowly but surely the tables are shifting. You get what I'm saying? Like, we are coming up. So I'm just trying to figure out what is, are they seeing something that I'm not seeing? Like, I don't get it.
The thing is, we have to understand their definition of coming up. What's their example? Who are looking at as an example of coming up?
I mean, honestly, you got to look at, I hate to call them the oppressor, but you got to look at the people that's on top of the game.
Yeah, but the thing is, we keep trying to be like them and we're not like them.
No, but not saying be like them.
No,
but everybody desires several things. Everybody desires financial freedom and stability. Those are the major things in life that we all agree on. We want financial freedom, wealth, and stability. We don't want to have to worry about getting up, going to work the next morning just so we can pay the bills, because we live in paycheck to paycheck. We don't want to have to worry about we got Rob Peter to pay Paul. You dig what I'm saying? Like we want stability. We want to be able to spend money and buy what we want freely. You know what I'm saying? We want to be, because honestly, that's a part of living. And when you have those things, life is a lot better. And I hate to sound like I am a person that only values the physical things in life, but let's be real. Money makes life a lot better. And I think we all can agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, money definitely makes a lot better and a lot easier. I kind of feel like that right there is 50% of life's stress.
Yeah, money makes the tangible things easier. That's what it is. Because life is, you're going to live regardless.
Yep. So
life makes the tangible things, the things where the bills, you don't want to stress out. You can go, you ain't got to worry about how you going to get, or you ain't got to worry about how you eat. You're going to be able to move, want to move. Yeah, those are tangible things. But what's left after you get that? So either whether you're working hard towards having that space where you don't have to worry, you can breathe, and we all do, like you said, we all want that, where we are able to just exhale. But while you're working on that, work on the other part of it, the non-tangible things, the things that only can occur without money.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Your peace.
Your mental health.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Time out. I like this conversation because guess what? And I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Devil's advocate.
My horns are growing. Peace and mental health. the number one factors that drive people crazy and disturb their peace is finances.
I don't know about that.
Come on
Because
now.
my mental health ain't have nothing to do with
Wait. You're just thinking to yourself, and I respect that and I get that. But let's look at the whole. Everybody don't have money. There was an article that they just released that they said if you have $5,000, you're already richer than 50% of the world's population.
Mm-hmm.
If you have $5,000 in your bank account right now, you are richer than 50% of the world's population. Just think about that.
Well, also part of that is because different currency is worth less or more.
Yeah, but still, bro. Even if you just narrow it down to the US, bro.
So may I ask you a question?
Talk to me.
So why is there cases of so many wealthy, famous people committing suicide?
Bro, and I get where you're going with that. And I feel you, money doesn't buy happiness, but
Or mental health.
exactly. But I refuse to ignore that money can solve 75% of the things that cause us stress and disturb our peace. Just think about it. If you didn't have to worry about paying bills, and Phoenix, you a parent, paying bills, making sure the kids is fed, you feel me? Making sure y'all can go out and really enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Being able to go on vacations. You know what I'm saying? Have money put away for college. You dig what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff right there. That right there will free your stress up so you can be like, okay, what can I do to make me happy? Guess what? Some people like to go on cruises to find their peace and be happy. You have to pay for that. You dig what I'm saying? Like you can put yourself in position, you feel me, to get yourself better. Mental health. I'm sorry, I'm a firm believer. You can see them real doctors that can get shit done. You gotta pay.
May I interject? Because I believe what me and Phoenix said, they're two different things. Like your peace and your mental health, even though they're connected, they're different. You know, because somebody could have all that. The cruises, so on and so forth, everything taken care of, so on and so forth. All that is being a dressed up trash can.
I think you guys are missing my point. I agree.
I'm trying to get the point.
Listen, the point is clear. I said that money will solve 75 to 80% of your problems in life, which will lead to you finding a place of peace and happiness.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. If you can go somewhere where you don't have to worry about bills and you don't have to worry about having to buy clothes and all that other stuff, you go away from here, the States, or go in the middle of the States, whatever. But you get away from this space where all they doing is sucking you dry every day. And you go somewhere where you can just live off the land, would you do it?
Absolutely. But you still need some type of money. You can't just look, I get what you're saying, but there's no way that you can just live off of.
You're gonna work until you die to get to this place where we feel that it's the best place to be so you can have whatever you want within reach. But you can have that. That's what you want. You're gonna get it. But and then what?
Keep in mind, I have no clue what rich people problems are yet. So, I mean, a wise man said, "More money, more problems." You know, shout out to Big. But
guess what? Wait a minute. Now, see, God damn it, quick! You got me firing off. You know why it's more money, more problems? because
What's up?
people get more money and don't change their lifestyle. They don't understand that they get more money and they add another bill. They spend money. People don't know how to save money. That's why it's more money, more problems. Like I said, I'm gonna so back to you, Phoenix. You send me to this island where I can quote unquote live off their land. Yes, I'm gonna have water. Yes, I'm gonna grow my crops. But guess what? I still gotta work. I still gotta go out there and hunt my protein. You get what I'm saying? Wait a minute. You said what?
She
You don't,
said, you
I
don't
can
got
hear
to
you.
pay for it.
Hold on. Wait a minute. How am I gonna hunt, Phoenix?
You better
hey,
you better make a spear like your
Okay.
ancestors.
Okay. So
Bro.
wait a minute. Time out. How foolish are you to be in the year of 2025 to be out there with a stick and a carved up rock?
you know him.
Ooh, come on, man. It's gonna take
Well,
some
you
type of money.
somewhere where it's safe
Nah,
and you can live off the
nah.
land. Half of that stuff is already growing.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. If you living off of land, that means that it's isolated and uninhabited. That means that there's actual extra animals on there that you got to defend yourself from, buddy. So you're gonna need a little more than just the land to survive. I'm just saying. I get what you guys are saying, and I
All right,
totally agree with
let
you.
me add another stipulation.
Hold on.
You got a pet panther.
Oh, here you go. So you know what? Quick. You just keep moving the goalposts. I'm about to score. It's 4th and 1. That all of a sudden, boom, it's 4th and 50. What the fuck? So nah, look. I'm just saying. I definitely agree with you. Don't get it twisted. And me personally, I found a new place of peace, and that peace for me came from learning and healing from shit. You feel me? I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? You can't, there's no price on that. There is absolutely no price on that type of peace. But what I'm just saying is the hardships that we go through as regular people, 80% of that shit can be solved by money. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, that is true. I'm just, I have to throw some.
Yeah.
I will say that
Because
is true, especially in this country.
look, I'll be a little transparent. Well, I'm telling too much of my business. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point in our marriage, this is like one of the times where me and my wife we've actually been both up there making good money and matching each other. You know what I'm saying? It's always been lopsided. Either she's super up there and I'm like middle or low, or it's vice versa. You know what I'm saying? We've never had the playing field to be even. But now that it's even, that solved a lot of our problems because financial issues was our problem. We are a family of 5. Yes, we're 5 because we have a dog. And technically, if you want to count Mufasa, my fish, we're 5.3 because he's little.
You need to put him up for adoption though.
Hey, you need to put some gloves on to get the tank and fight that nigga. But no, what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying. So it's for us, man. As your kids get older, and Phoenix, you can attest to this. They eat like grown adults. You know what I'm saying. They eat for no fucking reason. You know what I'm saying. They burn more electricity. The bills go up. And the bills go up and cost of living goes up, but we're not getting more money, that we're still getting paid the same rate. You know what I'm saying? So in all reality, it's hard out here to survive. They said in right now in the state, nobody could rent a 2-bedroom apartment off of a single income.
At all.
At all. Like 1-bedrooms are ridiculous. So what I'm saying,
I will say, I literally got a friend who 2 friends because they're a couple and they have a child. They just moved out of their old apartment. That joint was like $2,200 a month in Maryland.
Really?
Bruh. And for real, with money, the smartest thing, say you sitting on several million, so on and so forth. With that money, being smart with it means you should live by the means of what you need first. Instead of going off of what you want first. Like, you don't have to buy the huge huge extravagant mansion because granted that's just gonna be a bill. If you can't at least get a house you can pay like, drop a payment on and boom, you paid that joint off. So I mean that's a main way of being comfortable. At least live by the means of your wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Now granted, you can buy that huge mansion, but you'll still have a mortgage. You just have a bigger one.
Yeah, you buy a mansion, you gotta pay for the utilities. Then you gotta pay for the people in that zone to keep it clean. Cause I'll be damned if I'm gonna go through dead dust and everything. My wife gonna get tired of that shit. The kids
Bruh,
gonna end up moving. Man, hell no.
if you don't get in there and mow the carpet,
Mow the carpet.
yeah, because I know you're gonna
Man,
have a
hell
shag
no.
rug in one of them rooms.
Nah, but you wanna know what I'm saying? I just wanna know. I just had that question, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know often during our talks, we always talk about Black Wall Street, and you know what I'm saying. For me, I'm always disappointed because like I'm gonna be honest with you, I really didn't know too much about it until you know what I'm saying. I met you guys and we started talking about it. So like it disappoints me that we create something and they torch it down and they fuck it up and they dismantle it and we're just still sitting here stuck like, oh, we can't get ahead because they won't let us. And I'm just sitting here looking around like, I don't know. I got some good people around me that's striving for excellence, that's doing great. You feel me? That's motivating me to do it. You know what I'm saying?
And for real, personally, I feel if we were to do something like that again in 2025, like say, like in the city, we buy 7-8 blocks worth of the city, and and so on and so forth. I feel like they would do a different version of Black Wall Street. The only difference is it's not going to end in fatality, but they will make it so it's nearly impossible for us to get that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. How can I say this? It's already in motion. Like black people, a lot of black people our celebs, have been buying a lot of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that time that there was a campaign, buy back the block?
Yeah.
Like it's in motion. You know what I'm saying? The difference is, I don't know how advertised Black Wall Street was, but this time it's quiet moves. Like there's no need to advertise it.
Well, Black Wall Street, everybody knew about Black Wall Street, or at least I know the black folks was, but or they knew about it and all that good stuff. Hence the reason it was all gravitated.
That's the thing. This happened more than once. The thing is, why there's a fear is because this is more than one occurrence. It was different cities in different states that was doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And each and every one.
Yeah, Black Wall Street was just the famous one that got publicized for real.
Several states. So it's a fear because every time something comes up or we create our own, it's dismantled, stolen, or just flooded out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's a fear. That's why people still talk instead of action. But like you said, Brock, there is people. It is motion. People are doing things. We know a lot of people that are successful. We're successful in our own ways. It's but we know a lot of things. The thing is, we have to stop talking about it and just keep, because you're going to get seen. It don't matter.
So who I was shocked at, who had a lot of properties?
Who's that?
Young Dolph.
Yeah, he did.
He owned over 100 properties.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because he was low key buying back his block. He owns over 100 properties in Memphis in his home. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. It's definitely possible. But
the reason why is though the way they get in and infiltrate is they use one of our, or one that looks that may not necessarily be from here. It could be from somebody overseas who has no connection, and they let them come in and they get, come and get information, get close, and then they infiltrate. That's another thing too. We got to stop letting money cause us to drive us. That's why some places got dismantled like that. They on the inside helping them. So we have to remember that and to watch everybody and stop allowing money to lead you.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap this good old thing up.
Indeed. Oh, since we got a couple of minutes, I do want to get y'all a quick opinion on this. Speaking since we are the media, I do want you all's opinion on OG Willie D recently had Vlad Televizel on his podcast, and he basically publicly on camera apologized for misquoting and or disrespecting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and so on and so forth. So firstly, how do we feel about it?
How do you disrespect them? What do you say?
Well, basically, I don't remember the exact quote, but basically he made it seem like Minister Farrakhan incited violence or so on and so forth amongst people of the Jewish culture. So and now granted, like I said, I don't want to misquote myself, but it was somewhere along that, it had something to do with that. Vlad stood 10 toes down on what he said, hence the reason why Lord Jamar and Godfrey and all that had issues with him, because he misquoted the message that Farrakhan was trying to convey and was disrespectful in the process.
Well, if he disrespected him, then and he apologized, and hey, that's all good. If you do something wrong, I think you should apologize for it. Other than that, I don't have nothing to think about. I didn't see or hear what he said, so I cannot really speak too much on,
And that's fair. Rock, you're familiar with this. How do you feel? Because granted, this was years ago when this initial incident happened.
I mean, anytime a man can apologize for his wrongdoings, you know what I'm saying? Because we already know as men we're very prideful. Not every man can apologize. You got to kind of take it for what it is. Now, that's part one. Part two was, if you don't mean what you say, then that don't mean shit. You feel me? If you're just apologizing to save face, then you can keep that shit.
Agreed. But I also feel like this is a message to, once again, everybody who is in media or wants to be in media. If you're in that realm, if you're in this realm, you hold a responsibility to make sure your information that you project is accurate. Otherwise you will misquote, you will spread and create false narratives that will potentially be looked at as defamation, or if it's written, a libel towards the parties involved.
Yeah. Now the good thing is we ain't gonna get sued for saying Kanye was sucking dick, because Kanye said he was sucking dick.
Do the outro, bro.
And now you want to get off the show. I'm a little disturbed, bro. Was he sucking dick through the wire? All right.
Oh my gosh.
Let me put myself in the back.
That would have been a different story.
Matter of fact, Weezy, you start the outro. We're doing this different.
Okay. Oh. I am the Blue Phoenix. I thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. We're on every week or every other week. I thank you all for being such wonderful viewers, for being with us from day one when we used to close to 2 hours to now an hour and a half. You guys have always supported us. So I really, really appreciate you continuously.
Y'all already know these vibes. It's K Quick at the Real K Quick everywhere. I am KQuick.com. And yeah, This year marks year number 5. Dang, we've been talking to y'all for a long time. So yeah, just to let you know, this will be the episode that starts our summer break. While we're taking the summer break, because we will be back outside. We got more events.
Yes,
We got
sir.
more projects. We got other content. Just keep your eyes peeled because some big stuff is going down. Yeah.
Well, Quick already said it, so I'm just gonna say my name and get the fuck up out of here. I am Taylor May Rock. Make sure y'all follow me on all social medias at Taylor May Rock, aka such a fucking hoe, and I love it, man. That we going on our summer break. We gonna miss y'all, but if y'all in the area, catch us outside. Stay tapped into us, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. This is No Filter Show.